Okay, so our lab today is this magnetic cereal, and this note catcher right here that we're looking at, you don't have to submit it, but it will be helpful for you to take some notes on while we do this, while we go through this demonstration, so that when you write your conclusion later on, and that's your submission, you have everything that you need. So the first thing, it says, place a few flakes of cereal on a table or bench surface, hold the magnet close to the flakes, and see if they stick to the magnet or are moved by it. Have you ever put a magnet to cereal? They were like, no, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Well, we're going to see if it sticks to it. And then we are going to break down the cereal, and we're going to see if we can change it or move it in any way with the magnet. We're talking about mixtures, and I want you to think about, like, what is inside of a mixture that is cereal. We're also talking about properties of matter. So magnetism is a property of matter, and that's kind of where this is coming from. So first of all, we are going to start with total cereal. Okay, it's not my favorite cereal to eat, but when you look at the nutrition facts on it, I'm going to kind of zoom this in. We can see that there's lots of stuff in here. If we look at the ingredients, this is a mixture of wheat and sugar, corn, syrup, salt, all these things. It has iron. If we come back up to our nutrition label, iron is 100% iron. Have you ever heard of people who have to take an iron pill because they're anemic or they have an iron deficiency? Okay, so sometimes we get deficient in iron, but this cereal has 100% iron. Where do you normally get iron from? Like when you eat in your food. Normally you get iron from red meat. Some people don't eat red meat, so they got to find their iron sources from other places. So this cereal claims that it is a great source for iron. I have a piece of iron right here. Is that the same thing that's in the cereal? Maybe. I have some, let me move this over. I have some iron filings here. Have you guys ever seen the iron filings? Like played with iron filings? Yeah, you can shut off the light. Alex, please shut the light. Thank you. Okay. So you can kind of see that they move around. As soon as I take the magnet. All right. So this iron piece that I have here, my magnet will stick to. Okay. But that's not what you eat in your cereal, is it? Actually, let's look what this lab is about. So we're gonna get some cereal. Okay. Just need a few pieces of cereal. And what do you think? Am I gonna be able to move the flakes of cereal with my magnet? You're like, no, that's dumb. Why do you gotta be dumb, teacher? If I do, I'm never eating cereal again. All right, I'm gonna touch it. Not dragging that anywhere. I'm gonna go really slow. Not dragging it out anywhere. So that proves it, right? Hold on. Before we go proving it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna smash it, because we said that we'd be able to take apart the mixture if it was a mixture, right? It's not chemically bonded. This thing says that it has iron, which is actually just little tiny pieces of iron. That's how they supplement food with iron. That makes me think, well, that's pretty crazy. I don't want to eat metal. People say not to eat metal. People say it's a bad idea to eat metal. But we're going to smash this really good. And then I think we'll smash it just a little bit more. There's still some big pieces there. The instructions say to put the magnet underneath the cereal and see if you can move anything. Some of you might say, well, that's just you moving the paper, right? Because you're not doing this yourself. Wait, hold on, there it is. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I see. This might not work at all. We'll see. See those?
Yep, not in the cereal no more.
And some people will say, well, that's just because you're touching the magnet on the bottom of the paper. Well, I'm going to do something that the instructions say not to do. I'm going to go ahead and take my magnet and I'm going to stick it in the cereal to show you what I got, all right? Because I want you to be able to see. On the video, it's not very easy to see. Now look, see that?
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm shaking it, right? Still there. Does anything stick to a magnet that's not magnetic? No. Like, on the other end, I'll stick the paper. The paper doesn't come up. But that cereal, still there.
Why do they put iron?
Because people need iron in their diet. Especially like vegetarian people or people who can't digest meat very well. They're allergic to the meat. So they need iron in order to make blood. Your blood has iron in it, and that's what helps you to carry oxygen. And so they say, well, we'll just put iron in it. And that's what I want you to think about today. Like, this has iron in it that is magnetic, that is still, like, I am taking it out of this mixture right now.
I thought it was a different type of iron.
It's iron. Iron is iron from the periodic table. That's what you need. You need one little atom of iron in every hemoglobin molecule that carries the oxygen in your body. So, shake it, shake it, shake it. It is still stuck on there. That is magnetic cereal. So, now not all cereals like that, but any cereal that says iron, that says fortified with iron, so I'll show you that on the label here. Vitamin, that's really close. So vitamins and minerals are added. Vitamin C, zinc, and iron, mineral nutrients, all fortified. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? That is your choice. That's what we have to think about today. So you've seen that part of the lab. I want you to come back to the instructions and the lesson. So we should have answered this. Did you think it would work? Some of you are like, no, it's not going to be magnetic. But then what did you see? What did you see? And then you're going to read some articles. And you are going to write in the box facts that support the iron fortified foods. Now, I never intended for you to read all 4 articles. My original plan was for you to have like 4 people work together, each one read an article. And we can do that digitally if you share your copy with a few other people. So if you share your copy, like come over here, share, have some people in the room. You can kind of point, you don't have to get up. And then all you have to do is read the articles that you choose to, and then you're sharing that information with them. So let's kind of model that for you. I would share that with someone, and then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to read Article A. So I'll go ahead and type in the box. I'll type my name in the box, okay? And then I'm going to go back to the lesson. I'm going to pick up Article A. I'm going to open it up. Okay? And here's the article. So I need to read this article, and while I'm reading this article, I'm thinking about, is this good that there's iron in my food, or is it bad? So I'm going to model this a little bit, but we're going to skip through the actual reading. I read words iron enriched. Okay, a recent e-newsletter from Raw Pleasure featured this YouTube clip about how to establish the fact that there are little bits of metallic iron in your favorite breakfast cereal. That's what we just did with our lab. We saw that. So I'm going to scan down. Although I know metallic iron is related to the iron that you find in whole foods like cocoa, seaweed, and spinach, the burning question in my mind was, can this form of iron be readily absorbed into our bodies? And so they're asking this. These filings, 1984, started with an experiment by Dr. So it started with this experiment by a doctor. Food grade iron filings. So it's not just me telling you that it's little pieces of iron. This is what they're using in that cereal. They are powdered iron filings. Metallic element iron filings used in Australian cereals. Well, you have 4 different articles. So if you have 4 people, then what you each read one article. So then, how readily available are these? On the face of it, the first real research I found was this, and appeared to be exactly what I was after. A clearly detailed research into the relative absorption found that the absorption of reduced iron could be encouraged to an acceptable rate. All right, so it is acceptable. Our body does take it in. But, okay, wait, I'm still kind of modeling how you're going to do this. But then it says, wait, are they really suggesting that it's cheap? That this is why it's good? So I'm going to go back to my note catcher. I'm going to go back to my note catcher and I'm going to say, well, it's good because the iron is able to be absorbed, but it's bad because it is cheap and not absorbed well. So I just need one fact in each box for the article, right? And then you're sharing that note catcher. You're going to go back to the assignment after all 4 of you have added your part. You're going to go back to the assignment using this information. And for today's submission, you will need to write a lab conclusion, summarize what you saw and did in the lab, then decide if you think iron-fortified foods are good for you or not. So be sure to include one fact from each article. Make sure you highlight the fact from each article you use. So you're going to highlight it so I can see where you got the fact from. So you're writing something. You saw magnetic cereal today. Is that good for you or is it bad for you? Reading those articles. I'm going to stop talking and let you go ahead and get started with that.